Wildcards, MWI to here. Honestly, a lot of teams are respecting those mid laners, especially like you said, Leo, these are S-tier mid laners where they can really turn the tide with a very, very solid mid lane pick.
So now you're wondering what could be left for Stormy here, because Super Friends got picked Red 4.
I mean, like,
took him out completely.
This is where we see the unique heroes skyrocket. We've seen the Koguri, we've seen the Kadita.
We saw Eve yesterday.
We saw Eve.
Interesting ban Angela, by the way, so they removed the combination with Angela Baksha and Angela CC. Also, the last ban, I think SRG should think about the Loi ban, actually.
Honestly, very good shout here, because again, the presence and the keys to victory. Watch out for Onyx Philippines when they have a composition that plays the map well.
Angela does that so deceptively and so honestly too. You don't even have to show yourself in the late game. You just clear waves and then jump in with the Hearthguard. One more here. Do they attack Super Friends? Is that even worth doing?
That's always the question, man, because you're always like, haha, got you with this ban. And it's like, haha, back to you. I got a big ass hero pull, but now they ban out the Lapu Lapu. Good. You don't want that Lapu, sorry, you don't want that God as well as CC combination. That's too much.
It wasn't worth it. They thought about it like, no, let's not even touch Friends.
That's a good combination, but still, if you let Super Friends to play with Loi, you open too much resources for Onyx Philippines. You can play macro games if we are speaking about the Hedgehog.
If you're going to pick the Loi, though, I don't think it comes out Red 4.
Yeah, it should be 5.
I think there's still too much out there that SRG can do. Already there's a lot of threats to the Loi here just in the first 3 picks, so this might actually be the King Kong hero here, the jungler. This will reveal at least where the Baksha goes, Red 4.
Yeah.
Trooper reporting for duty.
Your team is picking.
And here comes Kimi. So that was my suggestion before the second phase of the drafts, but I expected Loi. Still, there is a good composition with 2 marksmen, with a good front lane, and they still have a flexibility. They still can move Baksha, same to the jungle or for the roam.
So an option here is something like the Eve, but I don't think it's a good combination overall of the Kalia. But again, the Kalia could just be used defensively and actually grab anyone that overextends. So SRGOG, the mid as well as the EXP, I wonder what Cram is going to pick up to go up against the CC. The Lapu is still open. If you want to win the matchup, Paquito, but we only see one successful Paquito pick.
Yeah, by RRQ.
Yep.
So here's the thing. Onyx PH, already now I'm just looking at this without even their last pick. It's very expensive. It's very expensive. SRG, they pick up the Ruby. I'm thinking this is Cram's Ruby. We've seen Cram play championship Rubies in this very same stadium last year, 12 months ago.
Can I just say, it almost looks like SRGOG is just using Onyx PH draft here.
With a hint of Cram.
Right? The Joy, the Luyi,
Kalia,
the Granger, the Kalia. This feels very Onyx Philippines. It's just like, we know you so much, we're going to use your draft.
Cram put his foot down. Cram said, no, not me.
Not me.
It looks like they outsmarted their opponent, and guys, and the Badang had the last pick. So this is pretty interesting. A lot of crowd control from the right side. Onyx Philippines got a lot of damage also according to the Kimi and to the Irritant.
So it's a jungle Baksha. This kind of calms my spirits down. It's not as expensive as I thought it would be. I think Onyx can work with something here. Very good range, very good engagement tools.
Right now we're looking at top 4 teams when it comes to the draft. I believe all the coaches have a good understanding of the meta. So either or, thank you very much for our analysts. But now we got to throw it over to our casters to start game 1 of the semifinals.
Thank you so much to our panelists. It is indeed the last 4 teams here at MSC 2025 that we are about to witness today. This has been a draft, as mentioned by our panelists, that very much resembles Onyx PH. But Onyx PH, as mentioned by King Kong, are looking to perform much better today compared to yesterday. Welcome to game number 1, and we're heading into the Land of Dawn. Mirko, you've had a lot of thoughts regarding the exchange in the draft, but which among these 2 teams are you leaning into for now?
I've always been kind of biased to damage, so I gotta say SRG, and it just starts out like that. Damage has really been the ultimate win condition in this meta. You have more of it, usually you win games, and SRG, yeah, as LaFell said, as you said, this looks like a very Onyx Philippines draft, and hey, they're utilizing it well. They're already punishing Super Prince with a Loi on the hands of Stormy.
That's a kill and a Purify that was already forced out of the mid laner, but they're gonna try and trade it in here too.
The flicker should be killed back. Super Prince able to get the damage done. King Kong takes the kill. Yums will flicker out, and it will just be an early trade of kills for the mid lane. One down.
Yep, that has been such a quick response from Onyx PH. Typically, you would be taking a bit more time, especially in terms of the jungle rotations, given the current meta, but now that King Kong has his hands on the back shot, it seems like it's something you could be expecting a bit more to come in for Onyx PH. Taking a quick look at the emblems as well, at the very least, Super Prince still went with that pull yourself together, so he will be having his Purify again. So, oh my goodness.
Hey, they took that first blood personal. Skies now pops in, electrifying beats over to Brusco. Still has enough peel from King Kong too. But King Kong is a level down. This is something that we actually spoke about, at least backstage. Me in a group with Midnight, talking about the early rotations of King Kong that really has been not as effective in the last few matches. But here on the box it just feels like it fits in. Innocent unable to get the shot on that cannon minion.
Innocent is very, very low. Maybe this is why they prioritize the Earthquake. Oh!
Two-man pin down. Yums able to turn things around with the sustain. King Kong pops in, voice shot, brought back again by the duality. He will be able to get away. Kirk is right there, pops in the curtain call, but it's only onto Cram as he goes in for I am not just yet actually, Vengeance, and Kirk backs away.
Interesting. Onyx PH were the ones who have been putting the much faster rotations out there. King Kong and the other members were the first to be in that turtle pit, but wait, hold on.
Pin down, I'm offended, and the Don't Run Wolf King locks him down. Cram with the specialty here in game one. That's a double. And a diversion that they won't take.
It's just to probably keep Onyx PH on their toes right now. SRG OG are clearly in the lead, and they've been playing the early game relatively well. We'll be checking that instant replay right now. It was right after they took that turtle. You did mention that Cram didn't go for the I am offended just yet, but it seems like they were after more. So they didn't just settle with the objective. They literally wanted to establish this 1k lead that they currently have by getting more kills after Onyx PH.
This Ruby is what got them that final game. Obviously, it's also with the Roger. Last year in the Grand Finals up against Falcons AP Brent. So you can definitely see the Cram. I mean, he's so comfortable on this pick. He knows exactly the limits of this hero, when to go in, holding on to the I'm offended, just peeling for the team until the right moment comes in to get that massive one to turn things around. And even with the utility jungle, King Kong's HP bar, you know, hasn't really been helping Onyx Philippines. They haven't been able to utilize that sustain because I guess SRG just have too much damage.
That's where the entire damage conversation goes in. And again, you pair it up with the Lu Yi, who Stormy, even just now, we saw decided to use the diversion that wasn't really after anything. It's just the diversion that was used to threaten Onyx PH. And SRG OG with this kind of lineup, and the lead that they already have, can just keep going for all those surprise plays with the diversions, with the I am offended. And that's not to mention Yums, because Yums, he's been a little bit more conservative so far. He's been there just to protect the tidal strikes come in at the right timings, and the knockups. Those are going to be very crucial as well, because a single well-timed knockup, even up to 2 members of Onyx PH, could definitely change the flow and tide of the game. And that's what we might be seeing right now, because Yums is holding the bush. Oh, but he gets spotted by King Kong.
Yep, the shield unity able to open up the bush there. The curtain call already baited out as well as Cram. This kites away. Traction pulse lands on Yums. King Kong still on it. Cram with I'm offended again, but Brusco goes on Fist Cry, able to disengage as well. King Kong wins the red tree battle as Kirk zones them in the back line. That's going to be I'm offended and Flicker combo, bringing him back into Skies to get the kill. Electrifying beats. King Kong holding his own in the front. Kelra jumps with the heavy crossbow. We're going to play again. That's going to be Cram pinned down, able to dash out to safety. And it is Onyx Philippines with the win, but Stormy goes in all alone. What? Skies again jumping in, but has to respect Onyx Philippines.
An interesting call, but Cram still going for the I am offended. The Purify will be forced out of Super Prince as well, but I wonder what the idea was from SRG OG, because the moment that they were spotted out by Onyx PH, it did feel like they were just too confident to go in. They set the tempo for that particular team fight, but there wasn't anyone from Onyx who was that low for Stormy to risk going in and surprising them from the back lines. Oh, but Kirk he won't survive that.
Nope. Tsunami Slam under turret. Brusco caught in a bad spot, and Stormy gets back to even score. Every time Stormy dies, he's able to, balance it out with the assists too. 3 deaths, 3 kills, 3 assists. It has just been SRG who've been capitalizing more off of the mistakes of Onic Philippines.
Yep. But right now, they're the first to actually take a turret away from Onic PH2, so the lead is just growing for SRG OG. Great reactions from Keller as well, not putting himself in such a dangerous spot, but this is an immediate response from King Kong too. That's a lot of damage coming in from Innocent, however, even despite the early game which we've seen him go through up against the Irithel, where it felt like Keller was just doing a great job. He's actually leading by, even if we say it's just a bit, that's actually massive for a Granger up against an Irithel, but Cram?
Absolutely. Like you said, this small lead can build up to a massive one. And here's the thing about the Ruby, right? Yes, you can poke him down, but he has ridiculous amounts of sustain, so he'll be back up with another mini wave.
That's just how quick he can find his way back into the team fight. If others have to reset, look for certain creeps just to find some of their HP back. Oh, what? King Kong actually goes back!
Yeah, we thought it was going to be the disengage, but he actually walks back up. Cram again, full HP with the Brave Smite, with the Ruby. Innocent with poke over to Super Prince. King Kong holding onto the turtle right now. Super Prince gets caught to half HP.
Oh, he has the traction pulse now, though. He might go for it. Oh, there you go. That's going to be Cram targeted, but Yomes!
In the back, Skies winning on the retreat battle. Now Brusco with the fist crack, but it's defensive. They go over to Tsunami Slam over to King Kong, but he's still going to be tanking up so much as Kirk jumps back in with a vengeance. Able to tank up. King Kong shredded down very low. Innocent gets a double, and it's 2 on the Sky Piercer.
And we just mentioned the entire small leads build up into bigger leads and bigger problems now for Onic PH. The amount of damage that came in from Innocent dealt with both the tankiest frontliners here of Onic PH. Kirk did a great job. Again, the Vengeance 2 was a huge part in how that team fight was sort of a bit more prolonged for Onic PH, but Innocent literally didn't care. He went for the ones who were blocking the damage dealers, and so it made things a bit more difficult for Super Prince, for Kelra, just to find the right position to land all those heavy crossbows and all those basic attacks.
And just like MSC 2024, SRG are playing their style of MLBB, where it's aggression or offense is the best defense. This is how they play front to back for Innocent. It's an unorthodox way to play front to back, because usually you just have tanks in front, but they have damage in front. That way, Onic Philippines are kind of messed up. Like, they can't really dive in because they can't ignore the front line, and Innocent, in the end, gets all those free shots.
Yeah, that's Innocent with already 3 core items, and Sekai's just now already picked up the Holy Crystal as well. So in 8 minutes, SRG OG can already be considered to definitely be online. Stormy does feel like he's serving a bit more of utility in this current situation, but do they have an idea, or does Brusco actually want to go for this? Yumes is there protecting Innocent, but it won't be enough!
Chain CC with the shield unity! What a pick from Brusco! Holds onto his position in the bush and gets all the value, but there was no shutdown. This is the thing about SRG right now. Their lead has mostly come through objective. I mean, there has been a few kills, but there's no actual bounty to turn the game around yet.
Yeah. It's too evenly distributed across the members of SRG OG. They've just been that much well coordinated in terms of the team fights and how it's been going so far, but there's a potential diversion we might be seeing from Stormy. Where is it gonna go? Oh, Kirk has an idea.
Opposite current call as well. Cram looking for I'm offended again. It's gonna be Yumes jumping to the back line, but the Purify comes in for Kelra. Traction pulse blocks Yumes. The Skies goes in, but it's gonna be peeled down by Brusco. He fights the fist crack Skies. Electrify beats Innocent. Gets the shot with the Rhapsody. All of those connecting and finding the man, Kelra.
And it's not usual for us to see the opposing team find a way to land their skills or to basically gain access towards Kelra. It's always Kelra who usually is the last man standing, usually turns the tides for his team, but this is a completely different situation now. Innocent with the range. And with the way that SRG OG have been just constantly breaking the formation of Onic PH, they've made it a bit more easier to target one of the most crucial heroes in Onic PH's lineup now.
And now it gets even more difficult for Onic Philippines to get to Innocent. Sure, he was caught off guard earlier, but now he has a win of nature. So it really comes down to Prince to be the one to get the execute kills, to dish out damage in the team fights. And you can see that massive lead for Innocent in the gold lane as we were talking about this matchup. Everybody had their eyes in the gold lane, and man, Innocent's making it looking rough for Kelra.
We've been putting so much highlight on Kelra after multiple highlight plays that he's done yesterday. And if he's able to find another one here, then I don't know what to say anymore, but all the more do they have to work on the defense first. There are waves coming in from SRG OG side and a Lord that's still full HP marching down bottom. At least they have two marksmen who could potentially deal with this. Oh, but speaking of, now we reduce that just to one marksman now.
Holy shield down below taken down, but also Kelra getting assassinated by the Prince up top. Skies. Hey, a lot of questions onto Sky's utility meta. How's he gonna do? He gets on a signature Joy and he pops off. Cram opening up again. Superpen's gonna be caught by the Yin reaction. A few shots by Innocent, forcing him all the way back to base.
That hurts. Okay, they find the I'm offended on King Kong. That's a lot of damage already coming in from SRG OG. And mind you, this is already a Kimmy who does have the Talisman first item, but also the Blood Wing. So there should be a bit more of the shield. There should be a bit more ways for him to take all that damage, but it does seem like SRG just has too much. A single combo from the duality from Stormy is already able to bring him down to half HP, and if you even look at the damage dealt ranking, Innocent, Stormy, they're just up there. Onyx PH have a lot of catching up to do in terms of that, and how long will it still take for them before they hit their power spikes or spikes, as you mentioned it?
Hey, we'll have to see how long they need. I mean, through the item builds right now, like that power spike seems pretty far off. I mean, the Great Dragon Spear gets built up, but he still needs the Malefic Gun here to go through that front line, which has been like really tanky. Or in a way, you won't really expect them to be tanky because it's a Kalea and Ruby. These two heroes aren't really the best of tanks, but they've just been able to brawl things out, dish out so much damage that it's more of SRG doing more than taking. Onyx Philippines on the other side, their tanks aren't built up yet. You can see Brusco really struggling in the gold department. Almost, well, again, 500 gold down, 600 gold down. The jungle is the biggest one. You can see that massive gap between the Joy and the Baksha where, yeah, King Kong's really struggling on a utility pick right now. Radiant Armor, Anti-Cuirass, he's building towards a Sky Guardian helmet, I believe. He just needs a bit more HP. That's what the team needs, but SRG are not giving any space over. Right as the objective spawns in, they're going to go straight for it. King Kong not able to get there in time. Free for Skies.
And Cram just standing there already does so much for SRG OG. Because there's a threat that if King Kong goes in and bumps into the wrong target, it'll be almost zero chances of him getting out of that because of the continuous layers of crowd control that can come in from SRG OG. And so clearly there was an attempt from King Kong there, but they did not decide to risk it anymore. And so that's going to be another problem. Like, King Kong has such a huge responsibility on his shoulders right now to tank majority of the damage. Even Kirk has the War Axe priority here on the CC and is yet to build the other defense items that will be necessary for them to buy a bit more time for their team. So now here comes the Lord once again, marching down the bottom lane. What does Onyx PH try to do? Will they actually go for a setup there? Or does SRG just take this through the disciplined route and just focus on the turrets instead of anything else? And it seems like that's what they're planning, or that's what they intend to do.
I'd say there's no risk. I mean, there's no they don't need to do anything right now. They can just play very slow and wait. They probably did watch the matchup against Spirit yesterday for Onyx Philippines, and they saw how Onyx Philippines were able to orchestrate such a massive comeback in the later stage of the game, and it was through going a bit greedy, overextending. So SRG, they're going to play the disciplined game. They've taken risks all this time to get an 8,000 goldie, but now with the 8,000 goldie, never mind, Yums conceal already. That's going to be the dive in the back. Skies getting the assassination on Kelra again, but it's going to be traded back. No, it is a turn in the back. I'm offended by Cram. Brusco walks up, cancel out, and is going to be caught by the shield unity under the turret, but it's still somehow able to escape. Cram surviving again. A few of the Rhapsody shots over to King Kong. Stormy surviving with the regen, just barely off of that turret, and they get a base turret up top.
I know we just mentioned patience and being a bit more disciplined, not overextending, but that could have been way different if SRG was not this much ahead. Onic PH with just Brusco, King Kong, and Kirk tried to look for another trade, but Krami just keeps getting his HP back.
Tsunami snipe over to King Kong. Youm's going back in again, but King Kong gets away with the shield unity just in time. Onic Philippines defend, but look at their base.
Okay. Overall, it was just Sekai's who they lost in exchange of all base turrets from Onic PH and a few kills here and there. So that is clearly a win for SRG OG. The lead hasn't been that much affected by that single pickoff they got onto Sekai's. It's still at a 7k gold lead, and they can just resume playing their game, playing a bit more disciplined and careful from this point onwards, because they definitely got what they wanted, what they needed from that level 2 Lord, and they're just 9 seconds away from potentially getting theirs next, and maybe last Lord if Onic PH doesn't find a way to deal with this. But does King Kong really want to go in first? SRG OG, they've already positioned themselves well enough and weren't necessarily revealed by the Magic Sentry.
They got everything and more. 3 base turrets to their name. They can play the slow game again. It doesn't really favor Onic Philippines at all here. They have to just make a decisive play up forward, but it's so difficult when SRG have so many ways to sustain, to disengage. They got like a billion dashes on Cram. Innocence always safe far back in the composition. And Skies always comes in last. Stormy, you don't even know where he is. The moment he pops up, it's behind you.
And Kelra, they have to deal with the waves up top. This is going to be a disadvantage for them, leaving King Kong to contest for the rectory.
And it's Innocent who wins it out. King Kong brought back with Tsunami Slam, still able to walk away with the help of the poison. Sky's going to be caught, has to win a crown. Will he bite the immortality? He will, just in time. Cram in the back, jumping in again. That's going to be Purify over. Keller dishes out damage with the heavy crossbow, but Brusco with immortality down. Yin-Yang reaction from Stormy. Innocent gets a double, and he'll find another. That's a triple for Innocent. Make it a maniac as Selangor Red Giants OG Esports tear Onic Philippines down.